Hi there, hi, my name is Refilo Kwame and this is my world of real, relevant, and ridiculousness. We keeping it real, we keeping it relevant, we keeping it ridiculous. Alright, cool. Quick disclaimer. Viewer discretion is advised. The following contains blatant honesty. Okay? Cool. So yeah, if you're not up for that, just head on out to watch like Daniel Thresher. He's a great comedian or something like that. So cool. So today we have a bit of a podcast situation. We're taking a trip down memory lane and sharing my deepest and darkest. We all have those. They come in many shades, but at core, um, we have a story bubbling inside. More often than not, it's rooted in pain and suffering, and sometimes we're afraid to tell it because we hold it so dear and we don't want it to fall onto the wrong ears that would judge and ridicule or really just not understand what we're going through, which is so frustrating and disappointing. And if you can't relate to any of that, it's my YouTube channel, okay? Yeah, get your own. So for me, my story is entangled in the classics, right? Low self esteem, I'm talking about insecurities, I'm talking about a deep longing to belong and be loved and be wanted and needed, and just really a lack of self appreciation. Okay, so like let me start from the very beginning, right? So I was a happy child growing up. I had loving parents, I had an exemplary brother, an older brother, and my parents raised me according to the principles and precepts of the Bible, which I still follow today. So you see, my life was pretty awesome. Well, except one small minor detail, I didn't have friends per se. I don't know what it was. Well, maybe I do. I guess it could be that I couldn't dance or I couldn't play sports. So I couldn't share the cultural bond over playing Diketo or game of Diketo or Kati or Morabaraba with my peers. I was that awkward kid who was always picked last and no one wanted on that team. And like guys, man, hello. I got kicked out of a lot of a dance team. I got kicked out of a netball team. Shit, the rejection, bruh. It hurt, and I was like 10 at this point. Well, but I did have one thing going for me though. I did have my academics, but all that helped with was turning me into a teacher's pet because well, this is a whole story on its own. But like, try explaining to a kid, like a 10-year-old kid, that I think we should be friends because like I'm super smart and intelligent. What's that gonna get you? But I do admit I was very special actually, just thinking back on it now because I always graduated at the top of my class and I always got leading roles in drama plays that we did at that point in time. And so I'm like, okay, God, yeah, I do see you. I do see you there. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate my intellect. But it gets better, okay? Life changed for me when I moved to a new school. It was a clean slate. I was a new girl and I was cute too, so I got like lots of attention from anyone. Like everyone and guys. Like, yes, I am your typical girl. I did crave boy attention. It's a pride thing, okay? It's a pride thing. But it was short lived because the following year another new girl came. Yes, and she of course took over with immediate effect. But I wasn't done. I tried to make myself prettier by, I don't know, being skinnier, because in my head beauty was associated with body mass, and I wonder where I got that idea from. I still do low key believe that though. But like I was 12 and I was already a skinny 12-year-old, but I needed people's approval. And in my pursuit of being wanted and being more attractive, I became anorexic, which tore my family. My mom, my OG, she cried always. My dad was mad a lot because they really didn't just like they didn't know what this was that was happening to that child. And if you don't know what anorexia is, Anorexia nervosa, or simply just called anorexia, is an eating disorder characterized by an abnormally low body weight, an intense fear of gaining weight, and a distorted perception of weight. People with anorexia place a high value on controlling their weight and shape, using extreme efforts that tend to significantly interfere with their lives. Why? People who have anorexia often equate thinness with self-worth, and it also is accompanied by co-occurring disorders like depression and anxiety, and yeah, it can be treated with those disorders. And every 62 minutes, by Newport Academy, they say every 62 minutes at least one person dies as a result of anorexia. um and anorexia is actually the highest leading cause of death under psychiatric diseases. As compared with compulsive overeating involves an overwhelming urge to eat even when you're not hungry or you're full, and people with this disorder feel like they have lost the ability to control how quickly and how much they eat. And after this, they have this downward spiral of um, feeling embarrassed and guilty. So over the years, I've doubled back between like anorexia and obesity, because I apparently unleashed demons of all things eating disorders upon my life. Thing about this though is that it is an addiction, but instead of being hidden, like if you could with syringes or alcohol and stuff, everybody can see it. Like when you wear your scars on the surface, everybody sees them. And I got my fair share of comments from friends and family, church mates who worry about my attractiveness when I'm fat, but also that I'm dying or sick or stressed out from like college or something when I lose weight. Like I can never please them. I mean, they probably mean well, but like sticks and stones will break my bones. Words do hurt me like a dagger to the soul, especially since I was already a vulnerable kid. I mean, right now, after years of constantly being self conscious, my mind being focused on food, so much so it was all I thought of myself. In my head, I was fat. Being fat meant I'm ugly, and being ugly meant who could possibly want me? Like, who could possibly love me and want me in their lives? Like, this is legitimately how I felt. That was like the thought process I had going on. Like, I hid from the world, I hid from my friends, from family, from church mates, and I legitimately cried a lot, and I was like low key suicidal, which worried my mom a lot as well. Like I never saw my life getting better because the problem was me in this equation. Like I was it was me who couldn't control my eating disorders. It was me who couldn't feel better, who couldn't see myself as something more than just this pile of flesh and cellulite and whatever. So what changed this year? It changed kind of this year actually. At some point in life this year, I realized I had to outgrow this. I couldn't kill myself because, well, hell. And after talking to my therapist, a therapist one day, I realized that the eating disorders were just a concealer of the real issues, like self acceptance, self approval, like the loss of self esteem, self. Try saying self like 5 times in a row, and such things, right? So I realized that besides my flaws, I was a pretty awesome person. I mean, I have this bubbling personality. I have this bursting creativity. I'm funny. I got Mother Teresa compassion vibes, bruh. I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a great friend. I'm all that. And I got beautiful brown eyes, besides what I consider my flaws. And really, this is just a fragment of what really went down, because there's some really dark poems and diary entries that I wrote down. And with the new pressures arising from like the high demands of university life, I was reaching a high state of mental malfunction. Breaking down, going to therapy not helping. Therapy did help to an extent though. It helped like my past events and like current effects, and to uncover truths I didn't even know about myself. So as it turned out, all those times I ghosted you, ignored public events and family reunions, I was really just ashamed and avoiding the inevitable comments about my weight, my looks, I mean, at this point, I should have been accustomed to it, but it still hurt. And maybe like that day, I wasn't able to manage to fake a smile. It's not easier now. I still hide, I still mess up a lot more actually. But I'm learning not to be my own enemy and discovering my true self, which is incredibly fun. She is just this amazing person I cannot even begin to describe, and oh man, it's so freeing, and it gives me the serenity. And yeah, so like don't listen to those with ignorance, like it sounds like an easy situation, because if it were, I am an academic and I would have figured it out by now, and eating disorders wouldn't be as common as they are now, would they? Right? This is not like some type of pity party. Okay, I'm doing this because it's part of my story and I'm crazy enough to share it. FML, right? And yeah, honestly, I do realize that we all have something inside us, something we want to tell the world, and possibly even be a game changer. For you, it could be like, I don't know, childhood trauma, extreme depression, fear of failure, power hunger, bloodlust, gender controversy, or whatever it is. It's important to you, but not everybody gets it. So I was thinking, right, maybe I should start a website like Untold Truths or Raw Truths, uncensored, for the youth, by the youth. The title needs work, but something along those lines. So yeah, if you think you got something to say and you are bold enough to share it, just comment down below or DM me on my Instagram account at RefK. That is what is happening. So yeah, that is it. That's it. That's all I had to say for this week. And yeah, I hope you've had fun with that. And I hope somehow you can relate. Yeah, just let me know in the comment section. So um, yeah, yeah. Peace out. Yeah, I'm sorry for the background noises, guys. Bye bye.